So it's no secret that Nintendo will have a Direct sometime soon, and we obviously wanted to do something pretty unique. Not many other people are doing this. Nintendo Direct predictions. Yep, this is a pretty unique concept. Not many people do it. But in all seriousness, we wanted to kind of spice things up a little bit just from your average Nintendo Direct prediction. So today, PJ and I each have 6 predictions of our own that the other person hasn't seen. But specifically, we have 3 things that we think will happen, 2 things that we want to see and are also, possible and probable to happen, and 1 thing that is just, impossible, probably not going to happen, pie in the sky, but it's something we really want to see. We obviously have not seen each other's lists, so there could be some repeats. I don't know, it's going to be interesting, but let's just get right into actually reading off our stuff.
So I'll just start my list off with the 3 of what I think will happen. So first off, I got Bayonetta 3 trailer plus release date. We haven't really heard about this game since the Game Awards 2017. It's something I'm really looking forward to hearing more about, so hopefully we see this at that Direct. Next up is a Smash DLC character announcement for Fighter Pass 2. Although there's a little bit of controversy with COVID-19, and there's been some news recently how Sakurai had plans to present information about new fighters to a publisher, but that's been put on hold. But that doesn't mean that they just cannot announce the fighter without gameplay. And lastly, for this segment is Super Mario 3D World for Switch. Obviously, Thomas, very looking forward to this game.
Oh yeah.
Obvious port, bound to eventually happen. I think we should see it here, and maybe not hear about Odyssey 2 quite yet, but this should be a good game to hold us off.
Oh yeah, okay, so for my 3 things that I think will happen, first thing I have on my little list here is Super Mario 3D World Deluxe. I mean, what can be said about this that I haven't already said? I'm not even gonna bother going into it. The second thing I have here is anything Metroid related. This could either be any Metroid Prime 4 news, or any Metroid Prime Trilogy news, or a 2D Metroid, which I believe was rumored heavily recently. Not that we should, put too much stock in rumors, but I do think it's possible that we'll see some sort of Metroid news at this next Direct. And the last thing that I think is, pretty probable to happen is I think we will see some sort of Windwaker HD port, deluxe, or whatever you want to call it. Obviously that would be 2 ports in 1 Direct, but it's definitely possible. They've done it before. And Nintendo loves to do something with Zelda every single year. The first year of the Switch, obviously they had Breath of the Wild. Second year of the Switch, it was Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, and last year it was the Link's Awakening remake. But obviously the Link's Awakening remake was basically a brand new game, and I don't think Breath of the Wild 2 will come out this year, so I think a port of Wind Waker HD would definitely, fill that kind of Zelda-ish void that we all want. Anyway, let's move on into the 2 things we have, which are 2 things that we think are, possible to happen, but also things we want to see. For me, the first thing I have a Fighters Pass character just like you did, but I actually specifically went in and said Rayman. I don't understand why there's no Rayman representation in Smash Ultimate. I know technically he has a spirit, but I feel like he's popular enough that he should have a Mii Fighter costume, especially when the Rabbids, which are obviously spin-off characters from Rayman, they have Mii costumes now. So I don't know. It's just weird, and I would love Rayman. PJ, you want Rayman too, right? He's your...
Oh yeah, of course. Rayman has been at the top of my predictions since Smash 4, and
nice,
it's almost a little frustrating he's not in yet, but hopefully with the Fighter Pass 2 we can eventually see Rayman in that.
And then the other thing that I think is possible is actually a new Paper Mario. This was once again heavily rumored. I'm not sure if it'll happen. I predicted that it would happen in a couple of videos at the start of the year, but I don't know. I want to see it happen. I don't know how much of that is me just wanting and not really thinking with my head, but I feel like it's definitely possible, and they do need a Mario RPG on Switch because the only one we have is made by Ubisoft, so Nintendo's probably going to want to put one out soon. So yeah, hopefully we get it.
So with my 2 for what I want to happen, I'm going to start off with Breath of the Wild 2 full title and teaser.
Oh yeah.
We have not seen much from this game since E3 2019, actually at all. We just saw a little eerie teaser, and that's pretty much it. So there's been a lot of rumors for what that title could be, but it hasn't quite been revealed yet. So I'd like to see some sort of maybe trailer, but especially a title and a release date, hopefully this year or the next.
In terms of Breath of the Wild 2, I really just want to see a new name. I really hope they don't say Breath of the Wild 2 and they give it a new subtitle. I feel like sticking with the Of the Wild, though, would be nice because it indicates it's still a sequel. So something like Curse of the Wild would be pretty sick.
Yeah, I've heard that title floating around a little bit. I like that. But I do agree they should keep the Of the Wild on it, so it's kind of indicated that this is a sequel, because the Zelda timeline is already confusing enough. If I don't know if you follow that, but it is a mess.
Oh my god, I can't even. Stay out of that.
And for my last thing on what I want in this direct is going to be a Metroid Prime 4 release date. Now that we know that Retro Studios is working on it, it has me feeling optimistic that this game could come out possibly at the end of this year or possibly early 2021. But I just want to see more about Metroid Prime because I really like those games and I do want a sequel on the Switch.
Oh, for sure. We learned about that, that delay and them handing it off to Retro. We learned about that at the start of 2019, like January, I believe. And it's now obviously been a year since then. So Retro Studios has been working on this game for over a year. I would wager to say about a year and a half, because they were probably working on it for a few months before we learned that they were working on it, and it's now a few months after January, so I would say they're working on it for a year and a half. I don't know how much gameplay they'd be able to show, if any, but I feel like at least they should show off a year that we can hope for, because with a game like this that we've known about since 2017, having literally zero details about it 3 years later, like, obviously I know it got delayed, it sucks, but I feel like they have to show off something, so Nintendo will force Retro to be like, hey, we're putting like a solid deadline on you guys, this has to be out by winter 2021 or whatever.
Yeah, I feel that same way about this game and Bayonetta 3, two games we've not heard a lot about but need to hear about. Release dates definitely, and looking forward to that. Hopefully.
So last up, we got the one game that we each have chosen that is not, probably not going to come. I don't want to say is not, but is probably not going to be shown off in this direct. But if we were calling the shots at Nintendo, this is what would be displayed. So for me, it's some version of Kid Icarus on the Switch. I don't know if that's a Kid Icarus Uprising HD port, or essentially a remake at that point, or if it's a sequel that just is not directed by Sakurai. I don't know. I don't really care. I just want Kid Icarus on the Switch. I feel like it's one of Nintendo's most underrated games of the past decade. I think Kid Icarus Uprising is a masterpiece that unfortunately did not get played nearly as much as it should have, because it is a twin-stick shooter on the 3DS, which sucks. And I talked about this game a lot more in a 3DS video I did, which pretty much no one saw because, well, that was kind of, on my fault. I made a video about the 3DS in 2020 expecting it to do well, but it was, I don't know, I really enjoy this game, and I feel like it would just do so much better on Switch. So I want to see some sort of Kid Icarus representation on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I completely agree with that one, actually. That was good. I didn't even, think of that. Kid Icarus, I did not play the game on the 3DS. I have seen gameplay, though, and it looks fun. I feel like they would probably port the original 3DS game first and then maybe do a sequel. I feel like that's what they would do because it's Nintendo. They tend to port a lot of games very frequently, as we kind of see. So I would like to see a sequel, but at the same time, the continuity of it, a lot of people not being able to play it, and new audiences and all that with the Switch, I think it would probably be remade. But Kid Icarus is definitely a good one that I did forget on my list. And for my game, that is definitely not going to happen yet. I want it a ton. Surprisingly, will be Mario Kart 9. Now, the reason that I don't think this will happen at this direct at least is because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch along with Mario Kart Tour on mobile devices are both doing amazing. But at the same time, I've tried playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and it's been pretty dry because it's been the same game basically since I've had a Wii U. And I do want a new Mario Kart. I just want a refresher on the Switch because that game, or just the entire franchise itself, is really enjoyable, but having to play the same game over and over again is getting a little boring. Now, this would not make a lot of sense sales-wise for Nintendo, but this is just a personal want, obviously.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know I enjoyed, listening to what you had to say, PJ. It's pretty interesting,
Yep.
Because normally we script out our videos and make sure we know what each other is going to say, so kind of doing an off-the-cuff style of video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed recording it. It's a nice change of pace. Anyway, we'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to stay connected to the channel, because we will be uploading a lot more videos, make sure you hit the notification bell so you actually get reminded every time we do upload. Liking the video is, obviously means a lot, and follow us both on Twitter and join our Discord, all that stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Thomas from The Switched Up.
And I'm PJ, and we're signing off. Peace.